VCTV and WBNH thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business. PrimaryBankNH.com. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing care to help meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Great New Hampshire restaurants. Food tastes better with family. Tbones.com or CopperDoor.com.
They're running.
And Matthews into the fast break. Great handle by Purnell. He'll sting that low right corner.
Alley lines as well. Now the ball is scrambling here, and Kahn comes up with a huge save early on.
Barrett right back to Gaffney. Now Helton step down, shot finds the corner.
And they have numbers. Matthews, Kaliza, down to Purnell. Purnell back to the middle. Matthews picks the far side. Textbook fast break by the Bulldogs.
And welcome here to Bedford High School here in Bedford, New Hampshire, where we will bring you tonight's Division I boys lacrosse action as the Bedford Bulldogs will host the Andover High School Golden Warriors from down 93 in Massachusetts. I am Corey Munster-Tiger with the BCTV crew. I will be joined shortly by Jay Abendroff. Still on his way. Traffic must be heavy on this absolutely gorgeous night for lacrosse. Oh, hold on. Absolutely marginal night for lacrosse as it has been raining all day long. The weather is not cooperating for many of these spring sports. Temperatures in the low 50s, if not high 40s, and kind of a miserable day all around as it has been most of the week. We should have a phenomenal night of lacrosse for you, though, as two powerhouse squads are facing off this evening. The Bedford Bulldogs come in with a record of 6-3. They have been doing quite well recently. Two recent wins, one over Westford and one over Concord just this past Monday. Put them at 6-3 and I believe in third place in Division I New Hampshire boys lacrosse standings. So beautiful night. The lights are on. 7 p.m. face-off is ready. 30 seconds left. The referees have briefed the coaches. Captains are getting their final instructions, and we should see our traditional lineup shortly. Jay, appreciate you joining me this evening. Thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, you say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Corey. It's pretty wet out there, but I think this is going to be another good test. Really a compliment to the coaching team, coaching staff, putting out there and getting some out-of-state competition going. So it's always good to pepper those in. We've seen Bedford have some pretty strong games against these out-of-state foes. But again, I think first and foremost is taking care of the ball, especially in these wet conditions, and being able to control the pace of the game.
That pace likely to be a little bit slower. We're certainly going to see some sloppiness as the weather usually affects the sticks a little bit. They bag out, so their accuracy may change from what we normally see on a normal, dry, beautiful afternoon. Starters are out for the Bulldogs. They do have their white uniforms on, as you can see. Red numbers, black lids, a little black outline around those numbers. Andover trotting onto the field for the traditional handshake before the boys lacrosse teams will face off. Navy blue tops, yellow numbers, yellow shorts, blue lids, and we are just about ready to go.
We have to talk about that. Is that navy blue or is that maize?
I mean, come on.
We got all game.
Are you chirping right now?
I'm just clarifying.
I mean, it seems like you're making reference to Michigan, knowing that I'm an Ohio State fan, Jay. I take somewhat of an offense there, but I will take heart in the fact that Ohio State did win the national championship just a few months ago on the football gridiron. So, you know,
lacrosse season, Corey. Lacrosse season.
We can smile a little bit. We can smile. 12 minutes on the board. We're ready for the opening face-off here. Dylan Riccio will square off. It looks like we have Charles Neese ready to face things off for the Andover Golden Warriors.
There you go.
Riccio comes away with the ground ball. Stumbles, gets away from pressure. finds an open man, but misses it, and now it's deep in the corner. Brian Riccio, nice little face dodge to get away from pressure, and now the Bulldogs will clear. Looking for a little space through the midfield, and Bennett Matthews runs into a triple team and turns it over, so the Golden Warriors will try to settle things down and establish their offense, although they look for a cutter and miss the pass through the middle. Backed up nicely by Ben Guazda at the midfield. Bulldogs in a man-to-man defense as the Golden Warriors get into their half-field set. Looks like a 2-3-1 from the Golden Warriors. Little sweep. Good save there. Ethan Kahn, true to the task for that time and space shot off the right wing. And now Riccio steps it over midfield and relieves pressure by finding Brody Helton.
Yeah, always good for Ethan Kahn, the goalie, to get that first save. Really kind of an easy one. The goalie had already been warmed up, shot it right at his stick, but nonetheless, it's nice to have that in your cross and then get the clear here for Bedford.
Good shot there, rounding the corner. Helton pulls the trigger and finds the back of the net. 1-0 early going here in the first quarter. As you can see, Helton just gets right around, hits the offside pipe. I think he got 2 pipes there, and maybe even the crossbar on that you know, magic bullet reference.
That's right. We see Brody there too, taking care of a short stick. So if Bedford's able to get that type of matchup on their strong middies from behind, that's a good sign for Bedford going forward.
Quick face-off win by the Golden Warriors. They're back in the offensive end. Nice move there by the attackman, Dan Guiney. They have him listed as a midfielder. He was able to dodge the defender pretty quickly, get back to his strong right hand, and finish high on Kahn offside.
Yeah, Boyd, a little bit slow to slide. That actually was a bit of a slow developing play as Guiney was able to, you know, take that left hand and kind of, you know, slide around Riccio for the goal.
The Bulldogs win the ensuing faceoff rather quickly. Riccio snaps it out, pushes it forward. Nice transition defense by the Golden Warriors to prevent an odd man there. Just 2 minutes into this game, 1-1 is your score, as the Bulldogs are hosting Andover High School from Andover, Mass. Push from behind. Wow, rather soft call there, but the Bulldogs are beneficiaries of that, and John Purnell will get things started. Helton back to Purnell. Parker Gupta behind. Gets it around to Luke Purnell. A little behind the back pass from Matthews to Helton. They've done that once or twice in their playing careers together. In fact, I think they scored on that against their previous foe, but did not connect here. And the Golden Warriors in transition. Shot here goes high. Nice tic-tac passing. Bergeron with the shot from Andover, and it sails high, but they back it up nicely behind.
Yeah, and slow break coming down. The midi was able to clear it, kind of one-man clear. Fortunately for Bedford, that final pass caught the midfielder a little bit deep, had to spin and shoot at the same time, and shot it wide.
Rounding the corner here was Guiney again, but Kahn comes up with a save, stands tall between the pipes, and now the Bulldogs will clear it out. Helton sees pressure. Little bounce pass here from Kahn, misses the mark. Scramble on the near sideline, and away with it comes Marcus DeJesus. And Andover will call a timeout to preserve possession. Veteran play there by Coach Brazil. We'll take a timeout. 8:36 to go here in the first quarter. 1-1 is your score. Thoughts from the first couple minutes of play, Jay?
Yeah, I think it's is largely a positive for both sides. We've seen Bedford be able to take advantage of some of those mismatches. We've also seen, as Bedford's dealing with some injuries, a few different combinations. John Purnell being able to play a midfielder position, some moving around on the defensive end. But overall, I think it's going to be a good game. It's a pretty evenly matched team. I think the story for Bedford is going to be the clear, as usual, seeing how they can manage that and get the ball down to their offensive end.
We've also seen Evan Capello pop up to that midfield role as he started the season at attack, and Parker Gupta is filling in at attack as well. So a couple new names in a couple different positions as the Bulldogs adapt and adjust to rather unfortunate happenings across their lineup. Quick reminders on next broadcast. The boys lacrosse team are playing at Exeter on Wednesday the 14th. Face-off is at 4 p.m. We will not be able to broadcast that live, Jay and I, as it is a 4 p.m. face-off, but we will be able to bring that to you courtesy of Blue Hawk Media over in Exeter. The baseball team will play the Salem Blue Devils also on Wednesday at 4:30. The girls lacrosse program will take on Portsmouth on Monday the 19th. That's a 5:30 face-off, or draw, if you will,
Yep.
Jay. So you can watch all of this action live on BCTV, channels 8, 1072, or on the app after the game. Golden Warriors back in action here.
Here we see out of the timeout, Bedford going to that 3-3 zone, looking for the outside shots.
Outside shot by number 17. I don't have him on my roster, so I can't announce his name. Sorry, Mr. 17.
Oh, he's at the bottom there. Mr. Jack Cooper. He's got
all the way down. There you go.
There.
Killing me.
Yeah.
Why would you put it out of numerical order? Not sure that makes much sense. But anyway, nice job, Jack Cooper. And then good job by the zone defense to get that ball on the turf. Cooper again. Behind. Here's Guiney. Back to Cooper's, time and space, scores.
Yeah, and we see there, Cooper's able to pull it. A little bit of a mix-up on the Bedford zone. We actually had 3 Bedford defenders on the left-hand side of that against 2 of Andover. Again, nice step in by Cooper. Richo just a tad late, but that'll be another key for Bedford to make sure that they keep the shooters at bay.
So 2-1, 7:50 to go here in the first quarter. Riccio comes away with the face-off. Some nifty stick work to get out of a triple team there. And now finds Purnell in the offensive end. Excuse me, that's Capello. Gupta now scoops up the bounce pass. And John Purnell over to help. They settle things down. Gupta back to Purnell. Trying to utilize those lefties across the various positions. Purnell off the side. Fires just high and outside. Backed up behind by Parker Gupta.
Yeah, a bit of wheel action from Bedford, really just trying to move the ball, get the defense to rotate, much like you do in a man-up situation, although they're even. Purnell was the next man up, was able to step in with a shot.
There you go, 2 in a row. Defender took one off the ankle. That was Ben Bergeron with the soak. He's going to feel that one tomorrow. Gupta from behind. Now Helton. He'll take a shot. Save. Nice save to the low right for Andover. Steve Johnson in there, picking that off the turf, getting it up into transition. Here's DeJesus. Quick pass, can't make the connection.
And I think both of those teams are going to have to deal with that type of poor pass with the sticks and the weather. They're probably not going to be dialed in like it is dry. And fortunately, Bedford, the beneficiary of what could have been an odd man advantage for the Andover team.
Golden Warriors will stack things up right at midfield. Taking some hits as he goes through there, John Purnell. They'll call a loose ball push, and the Bulldogs will keep possession. Another rather generous call there. Helton draws one, dumps, Purnell. He'll take a shot, eaten up again by Johnson. The Golden Warriors have dropped into a 3-3 defensive zone as well, so Bulldogs likely have had some opportunity to practice against this throughout their practice sessions. They had a 4-on-3, but they throw it away as Guiney was looking across the formation to Cam Brosnan. Misses the mark. Oh, we do have a tip though, so it will stay on this end. 2-1 is your score. 5:47 remaining in the first quarter. Andover holds the 1-goal lead over Bedford here in Bedford. Out up top, Drew LaChapelle. Quick. Cooper nails it. Beautiful shot into that top left corner. 3-1 Andover.
Yeah, Cooper been able to a couple times, almost from the same spot, unload against a zone, and I don't quite know if they had gotten into their zone or they're still playing man-to-man. Regardless, Cooper able to find that soft spot where he's not quite guarded, hands-free. Seems like a pretty good shooter. It's hard to stop that type of guy when he's 12 yards out and no one on his hands.
Time and space, those shooters love that type of situation, and you give them that much time, they can pick an apple off of somebody's head, right?
Yeah, William someone. I tell you that too, as a defensive guy, it's tough because they make these nets tight, and when you hit the back, they have a little bit of a ring. It's just not fair for the defense. It makes them sound much more important than they offensive players really are.
Matthews misses the mark here. You know what? When it rains too, there's a little extra, pain as you can see the water molecules pop off the back of the net too. It's the image that is just so disheartening. Matthews here looking for Helton. Deflected off of Helton. Looked like it might have been the defender Gilbert, but it does go off of Helton. So it's a turnover on the Bulldogs. Golden Warriors will clear it out. Here's Marcus DeJesus again. Wheels down that far side. All the way behind GLE, and they'll settle. Guiney tries to get high, but in his gloves is Brian Riccio. Cooper here from up top. Gets some space, draws some attention, but Ethan Kahn makes the save. Right at his feet for the ground ball, and now the Bulldogs tic-tac-toe through the midfield. Bennett Matthews draws the double, is able to avoid pressure, but then Cooper makes a beautiful interception as Matthews was looking across midfield. Guiney rolls top side, gets a shot off, but it's too high. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Andover leads 3-1. And here's Bedford able to pop into their zone defense. Looking for cutters. Here's Cooper. Save Kahn. It's a big one there. Cooper had time and space on that one. Kahn came up with a save.
Yeah, Kahn's bailed him out a couple times. Really nice saves on uncontested shots. Here we see a one-on-one for Bedford.
Great save. Johnson comes up with it. Couple of fakes, low and high. Capello couldn't finish. As Matthews looked ahead, Andover putting some pressure on the clear. Great job riding it, but they left Capello open on the back door, and Johnson comes up big, stands tall. And now another turnover. Beautiful defensive play. Purnell taken away again. This is Declan Mackold. Little tic-tac-toe, trying to get hands free. Here's Guiney. Fakes low, goes high, but misses the cage high. Backed up behind. And they'll restart. Dan Guiney from behind. Back to Cooper. Near side has been a deadly combination between those two. Guiney with a goal and an assist. Cooper with 2 goals already. to Jesus. Works through X. They'll take their time and spin it around the opposite side. Out to Siegel. Here's Brosnan. All the way across, back to Siegel. Cooper looks for shots, for cutters. Now settles to spin it. Guiney back up top to Cooper. Patient offense here by the Golden Warriors. All the way up top to Jesus. Face dodge there. Ball pops out of the stick, but recovered. Brosnan gets possession of it again. Now comes high, lefty shot. Kahn with the save. Rebound out in front. They scramble. Ball is loose. Nice job by the Golden Warriors to pick it out from under Kahn's stick. If that is outside of the crease, they are allowed to do that. Shot goes high and away, and nobody behind for the Golden Warriors to back it up.
Yeah, nice defense by Bedford there. Really weathering the storm as Andover, it looked like they went through a bunch of man-up plays again. Of a 1-4-1, a 1-3-2, back to a 1-4-1, and overloading the zone. But Bedford was able to keep the pressure up as Teddy LaPointe here trying to hustle to get the ball out of his end.
They do call something, finally. Teddy LaPointe trying to run through 3 riding Andover players. Probably not the best choice. I believe we might have a timeout by Coach Gaudreau, trying to preserve the possession. There it is. A timeout. 1:02 to go here in the first quarter. 3-1 is your score. The visiting Andover High School Golden Warriors lead the Bulldogs. If you're enjoying the game, you could check out more BHS sports action from Bedford Community TV on your Apple TV and or Roku device. Download the app to watch the next game live on the big screen. Exclamation point. Yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah, I mean, what's the hashtag there? Is it hashtag BCTV or hashtag download the app or?
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. I'd cut that up into 2.
Yeah. 2 of them?
With a carriage return in between?
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, carriage return. Was there an underscore in there too, maybe?
Right. That's right.
My gosh. Flag subtly waving down to our right. The weather has not improved, nor do we expect it. It's just a light-ish sprinkle at this point in time.
I couldn't find mine in the garage.
Just a dusting.
We can remain optimistic. The poor officials are out there, and I'm sure enjoying themselves.
Yeah, as we see a minute left here, it's kind of both offensive are feeling out both of the defenses there. A lot of long shots as the defense settles into zones on both sides or really pushes themselves, crams into the middle. I'm curious what's going to happen in this last minute, what Coach Gaudreau has, because, again, they've had a lot of outside shots but haven't really cracked that interior. Perhaps there's a play we got dialed up.
Somewhat unusual, too, to see both teams playing a zone defense. Usually the defensive folks take pride in their man-to-man, but both Coach Brazil and Coach Gaudreau choosing to play a zone. Great job there on the ride as Matthews tried to take 2 on and finally spins away and finds Helton. And now they'll settle into whatever play they had drawn up, and the Golden Warriors will drop back into their zone. Gupta back to Helton. Helton will step in and rip. Johnson eats that up. Too easy for him as he saw it from 17 yards away. Sure-handed save there from Johnson. 24 seconds to go. Here's Cooper. Helton slips. Cooper gets around him. Guiney tries to get back to his right hand, absorbs a check. Kahn with the save. Nicely done by Kahn. Full field clear. Looking to get an opportunity on the net. Johnson comes out of his net and scoops up the loose ball. And we'll end the first quarter with the Andover High School Golden Warriors ahead 3-1 over the Bedford Bulldogs. Want to take a minute to thank our underwriters. We at BCTV and WBNH would like to thank them for supporting our live sports coverage. Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Great New Hampshire Restaurants, T-Bones, and the Copper Door. Very appreciative of their support. Jay, thoughts from that first quarter?
Yeah, just going through it, I think from a Bedford standpoint, they played some pretty nice defense when it gets settled, crammed it into the middle, and Ethan Kahn has saved the ones he was supposed to, so really keeping the game close here. From an offensive side, we've seen Andover really bringing the energy riding, and when a guy like Bennett Matthews usually gets the ball on his stick, it's relatively an easy clear, but they're, Andover bringing 3 people as we see a replay here of, let's see, who was that?
Kahn making the save there on Cooper.
And here's Cooper coming in. Again, Kahn making the easy saves. They're not easy. It wouldn't be easy for me, but for a guy like him, and that's really what's kept the goals down. But again, I would say, too, from an offensive side, we haven't really seen Bedford move the Andover defense, and when they are shooting, Andover's sloughing in, so your eyes get wide when you're a long-range shooter. Those bounce shots have not been going in. Typically, when it's wet, you want to throw a bouncer on there because the ball will react in different ways, but Cooper has been gobbling those up time and time again, keeping only 1 goal on the board for his team.
Yeah, 2 things come to mind there. I think Kahn is making the routine saves for him. You say easy saves. You and I stink at goalies, so that would be really hard for us. But for him, yes, routine saves. As far as those low shots, I feel like they're getting the shots low enough to be at their ankle level, but they're not quite getting those bouncers to get either the high bounce or the skip. So we could get some variation there. Try to rely on the turf a little bit more here in the second quarter. 12 minutes back on the board. We're ready to start. In position for the face-off, Dylan Riccio will take on Charles Neese again. Procedure on Riccio, so DeJesus picks it up for the Golden Warriors. We'll go far side to Adam Siegel. Back to DeJesus. Defended by Riccio. They spin it around, get it behind. Here's Brosnan. Far side for Siegel. Behind for Guiney. Tries to round the corner. DeJesus, as the rain seems to have picked up here a little bit. Guiney tries to get top side. Righty shot. Misses low left. Kahn playing his pipes there. Guiney again tries to get top side and get his right hand free. All the way across to Bergeron. Bergeron picks up the double. Somehow that ball, oh no it doesn't, it pops out. Now we get a little bit of a scrum there. Coming away with it, DeJesus. Tiptoes the line right there on the crease. Low shot, stopped by Kahn. Gets it out, Teddy LaPointe can't scoop up the outlet pass as it was at his feet. Now they scramble right in front of the Bedford Bulldogs bench. On the turf, LaPointe again behind the play. This is a bit sloppy. Great hustle though, as both teams just trying to get after these GBs and give their teams another possession. Cooper rolls away from pressure there by Colby Boyd. DeJesus shot. Backed up behind. Tough one there. Looked like Kahn might have been closest. They give it to Guazda though. Cooper working that far side. Now here's LaChapelle. Back to Cooper. Rolls to his right. Shot high and outside. Bulldogs make a substitution through midfield. Tough time to do it. Pass right through the middle. They find Waldinger. Can't get a clean shot off. So he gets checked right as he was in his shooting motion. Dan Guiney from behind. Good lift there by Riccio. Tries a behind the back shot. Cooper there for the rebound. And now he has some time and space behind. Feeds it up top to Jesus. Shot score. 12, 13 yards, top right of Ethan Kahn. And he finds the back of the net. DeJesus from Cooper.
Yeah, and that's just a long time to be playing defense for Bedford. Andover just seemed to be able to get those 50-50 balls and loose balls, and that's what happens. It's a lot of energy, a lot of effort. Nice skip pass there. DeJesus was open. Kahn made a couple of nice saves in there. Unfortunately, that one got by.
DeJesus with the goal, Cooper with the assist. Cooper now has 2 and 1. First point on the night for DeJesus. And your score is 4-1. Battle there for the ground ball. Helton comes out of it with the ball after scrapping with 2 Andover players right there outside of the restraining box. Good hustle there by number 19, the junior. And now Helton will settle it. Bulldogs offense needs to pick it up here a little bit. Only 1 goal through a quarter and a half or so. Capello behind, and that ball sails. That's a conditions type issue right there. That was slipping around in the pocket for Luke Purnell, and he just sails it out towards midfield and out of bounds. So tough turnover there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not really much you can do. It's the conditions. I was going to say Capello started to make the defender commit, and we had the start of a good rotation and good opportunity. Hope to see Bedford do that a little bit more. Not just dump. You got to draw first, then dump.
That's an important distinction there as they work to overload zones. Nice wrap check there by Matthews. Gets the ball on the turf. Bulldogs can't get possession. Brogdon comes away with it. Down the outside, LaChapelle. Ethan Kahn will scoop up the loose ball as it pops out of LaChapelle's stick. Here's Boyd trying to clear. Teddy LaPointe runs away from a double team, gets it to Matthews. Andover trying this 10-man. It's been effective. Matthews scores. Looked like Johnson had saved it, but it goes off the bottom of Johnson's stick and into the back of the net. So Matthews with a transition goal there. Just too much heat as it slips past Johnson. 4-2 is your score.
Yeah, nice shot by Matthews there. The point starting it out with a pretty pinpoint pass through the middle, through a lot of sticks. As Matthews went down, at first I thought he was actually going to pass it, and it was a little bit odd, but no, he was gaining some angle, getting some lift, and it worked. So nice goal to cut the deficit in half, or 2.5, excuse me.
Nice ground ball there by Riccio on the face-off, and now a pinwheel check as Helton was double teamed there. Trail check by Mackold. Got a flag thrown, likely a cross check. Andover tic-tac-toe, and the shot goes high and outside, but there is some dirty laundry on the field. We'll sort that out. Likely a cross check on Helton. He will go in the box and feel shame.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, though. I think that the play was on the near side to the commentary box. The flag actually came from the far side, so the close official didn't see it. Perhaps it was a better angle.
They do call the cross check. That'll be a minute penalty, and we'll see our first man up, man down situation here.
I was going to say, it's been a pretty nice game from the official side, letting it play. And I think it still is. That was probably a good call. But you like to see it. The worst thing you can do when rain is coming down is to muck it up even more with a bunch of small technical fouls and stuff like that. So good on the refs for keeping the game going and playing it equally.
Seemed like Helton just had his hands just a touch too far apart and came in a bit strong with that stick first contact. They do draw the foul. Andover works it around the outside, some cutters through the middle. Far and away, pass goes high and outside of the reach of Guiney. A little over and back here, so the Bulldogs will get possession. It would behoove them to settle things and run out this penalty. Matthews has possession deep in the back left corner for Johnson. They move it across the top here. Purnell draws the senior captain, Declan Mackold. Matthews draws the double, runs away from 2 long sticks. Now we'll take on a few more. Nice job protecting it. Gets a shot off. Johnson makes the save up high. Nice play by Johnson on that stop. Outlet pass to Gilbert. He's got some room. He chooses not to challenge the 2 long sticks coming in his direction. Now Cooper gets some room on the crease. Shot saved by Kahn. Rebound right back to Cooper. Great second effort. Finds the top left corner, and Andover goes up 5-2.
Yeah, really strong individual efforts. You see Cooper get that ground ball, not fall, and able to collect and score high before falling down and in. Not much Kahn can do there. Really nice play individually. Here we see, I think, good save by Kahn coming out in the beginning. Same play. Unfortunately, those rebounds can get you in a game like this, especially when it's wet. So Cooper taking advantage.
Procedure on Riccio on the face-off. So Andover picks it up and we'll get possession again. Here's Guazda. Back up top, all the way around to Jesus, top center. Draws Santos. Pass through the middle, had the open cutter. Waldinger low and too far out of reach, so it's a turnover on Andover. 5:07 to go in this first half. Andover leads the Bulldogs 5-2. Riccio takes a couple shots through the midfield. They'll call a loose ball push as Andover has come hard with the pressure on this ride, a 10-man each and every time. Not sure if the Bulldogs are seeing that, but the goal is open. They do give a free clear, and the Golden Warriors will sag back off. This is honestly the right play against this clear for the Bulldogs as they challenge the handle of these folks coming out. Here's Helton to Matthews. Matthews rips one low left and brings it back to within 2.
Yeah, you're right on that ride. For those out there, when we talk about a 10-man ride, we'll stop and see this. Matthews able here to change planes, so you can go high to low. Here he goes high to low, right to left, able to fool Johnson. It's tough for a goalie when you move that plane. It's a lot easier if you shoot it high to high, etc. But going back to the clear, when we talk about 10-man, that means that Andover is actually bringing their goalie out of their cage, and that goalie will take another man, usually an attackman, allowing more people to clog up the middle, and that's what Bedford's fallen into, the trap of running through the middle and then getting double and triple teamed.
Santos with a nice little behind the back check, trying to get his stick back in his hand, but it got tangled up with some players. Yeah, that 10-man allows one of the defensemen to range higher and put more pressure, as we see Guiney, nice little move by Riccio. He's able to cash high over Kahn. 6-3 is your score. As you see the replay here, just fainting too high, not enough physical pressure to push him down below goal line extended. Gets his stick high and above Ethan Kahn. And Dan Guiney has another one. 2-1 for Guiney so far with 4:20 to go here in the first half.
And sometimes that's tough too, as you start to settle into your defense and get into your zone. You don't know when to slide or where to slide from. We saw Guiney go in and basically, once he beat Riccio, had no one on him to double and come with pressure.
Mackold comes through the scrum, comes out of it with the ball. Nice pass all the way across the field. Clearing out here, Drew Vaccaro. And Andover takes the timeout. 4 minutes to go in the first half. They hold a 6-3 lead here at Bedford High School. You mentioned the officials doing a great job so far. We've only seen one flag. If anybody out there is interested in becoming a high school sports official, it's an easy call, Jay. Do you see the play on words there?
I
like
do like
officials and calls?
I do like that.
Like it's an easy call. Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. To learn more about becoming a high school sports official, please visit nhiaa.org.
Yeah, I think, too, if you want to be a commentator, you can't be on a day like today. I'm sitting inside there.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice. We're not, under umbrellas and freezing on the cold.
Got some
aluminum benches out there in the stands.
It's the way to
You brought snacks?
I got some snacks now.
All right, halftime. It's on. I mean, it's Friday night. Hopefully they're appropriate snacks, and whatever's in that beverage is appropriate as well.
Absolutely.
We are on a high school campus here, so be smart. 6-3 is your score. Andover up by 3. Scoring, Jack Cooper, 3 goals and 1 assist. Dan Guiney, 2 and 1. The 6th goal from Marcus DeJesus for the Golden Warriors. Drew LaChapelle with 1 assist. Over for the Bulldogs, just 3 goals. Matthews with 2, and Brody Helton with the other. That rounds out your scoring so far in this first half. Any other adjustments you expect Coach Gaudreau to make here? Maybe handling that 10-man ride, maybe being a little more patient through the midfield, getting some open shots on the offensive end. What are you looking for here, Jay?
Yeah, I think that's right. The 10-man ride is hard to go against, but you really have to find your 2-on-1s, and you got to get your goalie walking up as well. Running into the middle, into that fly trap is tough, so I suspect it'll happen there. The other one here down on defense, I think they've been playing for long stretches, but there are times when the discipline goes away and a one-on-one move equals no slide and one-on-one with the goalie. So I think Coach Gaudreau is going to remind his team that stay active, and if you're tired, get into the middle and slide early.
Head on a swivel too, just know where the cutters are and help out your teammates in those adjacent zones. Good feet, good active sticks, but again, one of the most important parts of playing good defense is being able to clear the ball. You get possession of the ball, take care of it, treat it like gold, and get it to your offensive players. Guiney here had a little room, chose not to go. Feeds the middle, shot save, Kahn, nicely done, as LaChapelle got some space and got one off from 7 or 8 yards. LaChapelle back around. It finds Cooper behind, feeds up top. LaChapelle, save Kahn. Kahn's got to have double-digit saves by now, and we're only in the first half. LaPointe, he's going to draw a crowd as they come with the 10-man again. You look down to the left, you see an open goal, and here's where they can take advantage. Matthews quickly into the offensive box, but he'll settle.
Yeah, and that's an example. Speed will kill a 10-man ride. If you can move the ball faster than they can move. Matthews actually had Capello down one-on-one with goalie. Didn't opt to take it, but that's okay. We have the possession, got the ball behind, and let's see if they can settle into their offense.
Matthews draws the double right in the middle. Helton gets free, save Johnson. They look for each other, appropriately so. Cooper up quick, 4-on-3. Tick, tack, Guiney will shoot, save Kahn, nicely done, down to his low right. Shot here by Guiney, takes the sidearm shot, far out and away, and it's backed up behind. Will Frangelo was closest to it when it went out, where it went out, so the Bulldogs will get possession. Here's Helton. Runs through 1, runs through 2. Put his football helmet on for this. DeJesus ran into a truck right there. And now Purnell. Feeling pressure all over his hands. Good pressure there by Mike Guiney. Freshman defender. Laying the lumber behind. Now here's Matthews up top right. Helton. Back to Purnell. Matthews will let one go. Outside right, backed up behind by Luke Purnell. 1:18 to go in the first half. Purnell drives hard, looks for Helton up top, misses the connection, and now there's a break for the Golden Warriors. They run it, 1, 2, 3, shot high and outside. They are able to back it up, but nice job to find Brosnan, the lefty, on the near side, but his shot goes high and wide. Just under a minute to go in the first half. 6-3 is still your score.
Yeah, nice job by Con there, acting big, right? Raising the shoulders and forcing the shot wide.
Challenge your shooter, step out, take down some angles there. Try to be intimidating as possible.
Kind of like they say, if you see a bear, you're supposed to act big, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to test that, as the Golden Warriors, they find Guiney on that far wing. Guiney has the goal, to Jesus with the assist, and the score goes to 7-3.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It was actually pretty good defense. The zone was holding up. Guiney able to just shoot from the outside, relatively low angle, and find a bouncer through.
Yeah, I don't want to ignore that comment, though. If you really see a bear, are you going to act big and try to scare it away?
So it depends on what type of bear.
Because the brown bears, they're going to eat you,
Yeah.
right?
Polar bears are the worst.
Polar bears are going to eat you.
Yeah.
The black bears, they might get scared, right? All right. Well, I encourage you to test your hypothesis.
No, thank you.
All right, fair enough. 30 seconds to go here. The Bulldogs trail 4 as we approach halftime. Guiney up top right. Bulldogs drop back into their zone defense, trying to force the outside shot. Here's Cooper. Cooper misses the connection near side with Guazda. That ball trickles out of bounds, and 10 seconds remain for the Bulldogs. Matthews, full length of the field shot, maybe? They'll rule it a pass. It will be Golden Warriors ball from behind. I like how Capello gathered the ball, was it seemingly indicating that that was a shot, but the officials do not agree. Shot here, ooh, finds the midsection, shall we call it, of Luke Purnell, and that'll do it for the first half. The Andover Golden Warriors take a 7-3 lead into halftime. We'll take a break and join you on the other side for more Division I boys lacrosse action here from Bedford High School.
BCTV and WBNH thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business. PrimaryBankNH.com. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing care to help meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Great New Hampshire restaurants. Food tastes better with family. Tbones.com or CopperDoor.com.
And we're back here at Bedford High School in Bedford, New Hampshire, just about ready for the second half face-off as the Andover High School Golden Warriors from just down the road in Massachusetts have come in for a Friday night tilt against the Bedford Bulldogs. The Warriors lead at halftime 7-3. Jay, thoughts from that first half of action?
Yeah, we saw a lot of really strong individual play on both sides coming into goals. Really like to see Bedford take control on this face-off X, where Riccio has done a nice job all day, as well as handle that 10-man ride and the aggressive style, as we see here, that Andover is coming with on defense.
Helton gets possession. Nice little behind-the-back flip from Riccio on that face-off, finds Helton. Here's Matthews far side. Early moments here in the third quarter. Matthews runs through a check. Purnell all the way behind for Luke Purnell. Helton. Helton looks in the middle, gets picked off. Cooper right there. Nice stick work. Finds the outlet pass, and the Golden Warriors are into transition. Looking into the middle, can't quite make the connection. Loose ball down and away. Another ground ball finds its way to Cooper, and now Andover will settle. Tough one there, as the Bulldogs defense was able to get that ball on the turf, but couldn't quite get possession. They come out in their 3-3 zone defense the second half. Cooper surveying, looking for cutters, looking for open men on the backside of this formation. Fires it behind. Time and space again, shot. High and wide to the right-hand side of Ethan Kahn, who's still in cage.
Yeah, I would like to see Bedford extend a little bit. I think that's the difference between both teams playing a zone. We see Andover getting out there and extending their sticks. Bedford maybe sitting back a bit, and Andover able to get their hands free for these shots.
Kahn a save there on Bergeron. Now Cooper back to Bergeron. Ball pops out of his stick. Guiney. Tipped away by Frangelo. Guiney gets high, scores high. Guiney steps high above goal line extended, had just enough room, fakes low, and is able to finish high above Ethan Kahn.
Here we see Frangelo getting too high. John Purnell in there playing defense was a little bit slow, and this is exactly what you want to use a zone to take away, is those 2-on-1 opportunities. You kind of have to help your friend early, and we saw there Frangelo taking the ball, leaving the backside open. Tough one. That's something we'll have to tighten up for Bedford.
Guiney on the goal from Siegel. 8-3 is your score. Guiney's 4th goal this evening. Siegel with his first assist as Bulldogs get control of the face-off. They'll settle, get the right personnel on. Here's Matthews. Bennett Matthews from top right. New goalie in for Andover, Maxim Carreri. Lefty in cage.
Yeah, and here we see Corey again, what I was talking about, the extension of the defense. Andover's willing to get out past the 40 and cause havoc. Definitely going the right way for them.
Zone defense allows some of these players to get out and pop, be a bit aggressive, throw some checks, try to get that ball on the turf, tic-tac-toe, and it leads to a goal. LaChapelle finishes, Waldinger on the assist.
Yeah, we see here in the replay, really a 3-on-2. Good handle by number 9, able to put it, catch high and dump low. But that was really caused by the extension of the defense all the way up to the 45-yard line by Andover. The takeaway, and it became pretty easy from then on out.
Yeah, that extended defense by senior captain Declan Mackold. Great job, saw the window. We call that space in between the arms and the stick with players holding it with 2 hands. We call that a window. He's able to get that stick in between there, get the ball on the turf, and get it going his way. Nice job by the senior captain. Save here by Kahn. Bulldogs will clear it out. Again, they face a whole bunch of pressure through that midfield as Andover extends out into that 10-man ride again.
Yeah, I would love to see Bedford take a shot at goal. That's the one way to keep the goalie in there and make a 10-man ride, a 9-man ride. Didn't quite get there, but perhaps that's an adjustment that Bedford can make.
Pass into the middle. Capello gets a shot off from just high on the crease, but saved there by Carreri. And now Carreri, nice outlet pass near side. Guazda has a little time and space. They'll settle things down as Helton comes to defend. DeJesus has a little space. Shot wide left. Waldinger behind. Back up top to Cooper. 3 goals and an assist for Cooper so far.
The other difference I'm seeing, Corey, too, is we see the ball. Andover's got everybody on the near side of the goal, really flooding the zone, creating a tough matchup for Bedford to understand who their man is once Andover goes into their play.
Find the crease, popping off. Cooper scores. DeJesus with the assist. 10-3 is your score.
And I think if we see that here, again, a little bit of the confusion as number 17, Cooper, able to walk down the middle. Again, I think it's just the confusion of overloading the zone. sometimes when you're playing a zone on defense, you kind of have to let it morph a little bit of a blob, right, to mirror what the offense is doing. Love to see Bedford do that a bit more to make those cutters a little bit easier to identify.
I like the design of the play, too, as LaChapelle initiated that play on the far side. He dodged with an intention. He wasn't necessarily trying to score right away, but trying to get that defense to move. The move they did, distract from the near side, and the connection was made as they spun it around from behind. John Purnell to Luke Purnell. Now they find Matthews from out of the box. Just under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs trail 10-3. Andover in control here in the second half. They've rattled off 3 goals in a row as we've started this third quarter. Matthews sees pressure. Gupta back to Matthews. Looks around, looks in the middle, finds the cutter. Capello can't score. Now back out to Matthews. He'll take a time and space shot. That's the bouncer that he's looking for. Goes low, gets the high bounce, and gets the goal. Matthews with his third of the game.
Yeah, really nice play there. And we see the cut. We're not going to see it here. Matthews just burying it through the legs. It started with a really strong cut. Capello wasn't able to put it in the goal, but really moved the defense, and that got a little bit of the chaos factor going. Good pass, good find by Purnell, passing through. Matthews able to step in. Yeah, here we see the play there. Ooh, these guys are fast.
Really quick. They got quick feet. So that was Purnell on the assist, just to confirm?
I believe that is correct.
We'll give it to Luke Purnell. We'll let the official score is corrected afterwards if necessary. Here's Purnell again, back to Helton. Low shot save by Carreri. That starts out a transition. Cooper, pass across, Kahn with the save up top. Beautiful job on LaChapelle. Ball still loose there. And now Kahn will scoop it up and look to clear.
What a fantastic save by Kahn. That's all reflex, little bit of luck, but a whole lot of just preparedness and trust in your stick.
Kahn got across that crease nicely and popped high. Here's Gupta, finds the open man down low, and they score. Luke Purnell from Gupta.
Yeah, really nice. Bedford finally able to take advantage of the aggressiveness of Andover. As Andover's reaching out and getting upfield and pushing their defenders up. If Bedford can get through that, Gupta was able to find, is that Purnell? On the doorstep, completely wide open, who handled his business and got the ball in the back of the net.
Luke Purnell with a quick fake, goes low, cashes in. 10-5 is your score, and 2 quick goals by the Bulldogs have them back to within 5. Santos scoops up the ground ball. Gives it to Riccio. Misconnection there, but Santos there to pick it up. Goes out of bounds off of his stick. Just over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 10-5 is your score. Andover ahead by 5 and looking to get another as they come into the offensive area. To Jesus. You're seeing there initiating from that far side, working it through X. Call that position directly behind the goal, X, on the lacrosse field.
Yeah, the other thing to look at here too, Andover's got very good spacing. Even though that was a bounce pass, they've got Bedford really strung out, creating a lot of opportunities for passes, although that was a bad one.
Cooper looking for Guiney, cutting from behind, a bit high and outside of his reach. Andover turns it over. Teddy LaPointe dodging a few Andover players, gets into trouble, fires it at Gupta, who can't handle it. And this Warriors ride turns it over again. Trying to run away. Here's Mike Guiney. Long pole to long pole. And now we're going to get a timeout by Coach Brazil. Worried about expiration of the clearing time limit, so he takes a quick timeout as they look to get out of their own end. Here's a quick reminder of upcoming broadcasts. Again, the boys lacrosse team will play at Exeter High School against the Blue Hawks on next Wednesday, the 14th. Face-off is at 4 p.m. That will be brought to the BC TV viewing audience courtesy of the Blue Hawk Media Group over there. Do a great job with their broadcast at Exeter, and we appreciate them sharing their feed. Baseball will take on the Salem Blue Devils also on Wednesday, the 14th. First pitch is at 4:30 p.m. And the girls lacrosse program will play the Portsmouth Clippers. That's Monday, the 19th. Game start time is 5:30 p.m. You can watch all the action live on BC TV, channels 8 and 1072, or on the BC TV app after the game. You can go back and look at all of these archived games. We really appreciate the BC TV folks providing all of this live coverage as well as historical archived footage.
Top notch.
Top notch. 3:57 to go here in the third quarter. 10-5 is your score. Quick scoring update over on the Andover side. Dan Guiney leading the way. He has 4 goals and 1 assist. Cooper also has 4 goals this evening. So the majority of the offense coming through them. 4 and 1 for Cooper. A goal and an assist for Drew LaChapelle, a goal for DeJesus, and an assist apiece for Waldinger and Siegel. For the Bedford Bulldogs, 5 goals this evening. 1 by Helton, 3 by Matthews, and 1 by Purnell. Another goal here by the Golden Warriors. Quickly out of the timeout, and that was Adam Siegel.
Yeah, it looked like Bedford had a press type of ride going as the ball was in the Andover side of the field. Andover was able to find a guy right along the sideline that slipped out. And that was a tough one because I think Bedford was looking to add some pressure, maybe get the ball on the ground and steal one back.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't see at all what happened. I was looking at the sheets over here doing your scoring update.
That's why I'm here for you.
That just happened too quick. I mean, that was, what, 5 seconds from when they started? Tough one there.
I got you. Don't worry.
Appreciate your help there. Second pair of eyes is always very helpful, Jay. We have an infraction here on Andover. Players are not released, and released as in on the face-off when one team or another gets possession of the ball. Players can come out of the restraining box. We're going to get a timeout by Coach Gaudreau as Santos was in trouble here on the near sideline. Great job riding by Marcus DeJesus, put him in trouble and near that sideline, almost stepping out of bounds, but the timeout saves the possession. 3:34 left in the third quarter. 11-5 is your score.
So Corey, what do you think is going on in that sideline huddle for Bedford right now?
Value the ball. Let's make sure that when we get in our sticks that we're looking for the right pass, the easy one. Be smart about it. And if you see that goal wide open, let's take a shot at it. Let's have an attackman sprint behind for the backup. But why not take a shot from 40 yards out, 50 yards out? That's not a bad play, and it discourages them from putting that 10-man if you can get an accurate shot there. The second thing I'm thinking about, let's settle our offense. Let's overload a zone. Let's run that wheel or whatever other kind of play. The wheel is very helpful in that zone as you draw, as you mentioned earlier in the first half, draw a player out of their zone, dump it for the next guy around, get that defensive unit rotating and out of their comfort zone. Also, they're extending their pressure out as far as possible. We saw those takeaways, 10 yards outside of the restraining box. We have to be able to make them pay on that.
Yeah.
Handle, make a dodge, get open, cause the odd man on the backside.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see some intent here too from Bedford. Really, there's a difference between, just rushing and going fast. And I'd really love to see Bedford move with intent, move the ball quickly, and get ahead of that defensive pressure, because I think they're going to find some openings.
There's that opening and a closing right away as they turn it over. I like that distinction of moving fast versus rushing, having intent. There is a distinct difference there. We tick down to 3 minutes in this third quarter. The Andover Golden Warriors lead 11-5. Ball on the turf behind. Nice job by the defense to get a loose ball situation, and they get the push called, so they regain possession. Quick defensive stand there for the Bulldogs. Coach Gaudreau has to like that.
Yeah, and I know we're not seeing it from the viewers here, but the goalie for Andover is almost at the sideline, and maybe almost at the sideline there. So they are absolutely extending out.
Phenomenal ride there by Marcus DeJesus, playing great position, sturdy body position on that far sideline, and gets Purnell to step out of bounds. Here's Siegel. Up top to Jesus. Jesus rolls back to his right. Good defense there by John Purnell, forcing him down and low and to the outside of the formation, forcing the bad angle. Here's Cooper, rolls back to his right. Could see that coming, and so could Ethan Kahn. Stick side high, makes the save. And that's the routine save that you were referring to. Helton now will try to clear it out. Ball pops out of his stick. Cooper was right there but couldn't cradle it. And now Boyd in trouble. Frangelo will go back behind. Long pass to the midfield. Riccio catches it, but failure to advance on the Bulldogs, so they turn it over on another failed clear attempt.
Yeah, that's a tough one, unforced. Helton had the ball, just popped out. Again, blame that one on the elements, but Andover continues to get back possessions without having to play defense down on their end, and I think that's the big difference in this game thus far.
Guiney pops it behind. Back and forth action. Here's Guiney with time and space, finishes high, no one near to even check him. Guiney has 5 goals on the evening.
Yeah, and again, we see Andover overloading. We're seeing the play here. There's no one near Guiney, and when you're playing defense, the person with the ball is the most important one, and sometimes I think Bedford's getting caught up as Andover sucks all their players to the far side and away from the middle. It's really allowing a 2-to-1 play, 2-on-1 as it comes from behind, and Bedford's got to clean that up, kind of guard from the inside out in order to stop those close distance shots.
That zone defense has to operate on a string too. If that low right defender has to pop high, they need support from that back left side or even that back middle, whoever's popping off the crease there. Either way, they need to support. Nice takeaway check here by Santos on Cooper. Outlet pass to Riccio. Ball still on the turf. Golden Warriors all over the place, winning a lot of these 50-50 balls, but Riccio comes up with it here. Draws the double. DeJesus, good physical defense on the sideline there. He'll get a push call. Again, that's a soft call. But the Bulldogs get the advantage there.
I guess he was sitting on him by the end of the play, but...
Yikes. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs looking to get another one on the board. They've been outscored in this quarter 5-2, and they turn it over here. Tip will not be an over and back based on that tip. Matthews and Andover's offside. They do call it. Helton tries to get one off, but falls to the turf, as the ball does as well, before getting a legitimate shot off. Offside is the call. We'll have a 30-second penalty to close out this third quarter. 12-5 is your score. Andover leads by 7. And the Bulldogs will have, I believe, their first man-up opportunity of the game. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we've had a very clean game when it comes to flags, perhaps one on each for something like that, but very, very low. Let's see, again, if they can take advantage, get some spacing, move the ball quickly. I do believe they're going to find some opportunities here. Question is, can they connect on the passes?
Andover coming out. Very aggressive defense here for a man-down situation, challenging the Bulldogs to move that quickly enough. They try to skip it, tipped off a stick. Nice job by the Andover D as they're all over the place here, wielding the poles nicely. Nice pass, nice catch, and the Golden Warriors will have a odd man break, but time runs out. So Cooper had the ball in his stick, was ready to crank. But we hear the horn signifying the end of the third quarter. Bulldogs trailed 7-3 at halftime. They trailed 12-5 after 3. Jay, thoughts from that third quarter?
Yeah, credit to Andover. I think a lot of this, we were talking about the zone and how they're able to overload and all those types of things. It's really about scheme. It's how do you run a play that is a zone beater, and credit to Andover. They've been able to really confuse Bedford and create some opportunities to a zone that's actually last couple of games have been working really well. And then the other thing is Bedford's getting the ball. They are getting the ball down in the middle, as we saw Helton there before, but the Andover defense is collapsing quickly and extending, and they are causing Bedford to panic and drop the ball. As I said, I think Andover's playing more defense in the midfield and on the Bedford side of the field than they are on their own, and that's the hallmark of a really strong defense.
Kudos to Coach Brazil. That 10-man ride has been wreaking havoc on the Bulldogs, led by senior defenseman Declan Mackold. He's been doing a phenomenal job getting turnovers, pressing out on offensive players left and right. You can see why he has been a captain for this Andover High School squad. Did want to take a second again. We at BCTV and WBNH would like to thank our underwriters for supporting our live sports coverage. Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Great New Hampshire Restaurants, T-Bones and the Copper Door. Again, we thank them for supporting us and helping us bring you live coverage of Bedford athletics. So, a 12-goal difference here on a sloppy evening. We've seen the weather affect stick work here and there, not as much as I thought it might have, as players make adjustments to their pockets. They're trying to be sure of close passes in between each other and take advantage of the situations that present themselves. In fact, that last outlet pass, I believe that was from Mackold up top to the streaking defender. Might have been,
Bergeron it was.
Bergeron. I thought it was a long pole.
It was, yeah, I believe so, wasn't it?
Bergeron's a midfielder.
Maybe a D-midi. Whoever it was, he's got some good hands.
Anyway, nice play through the midfield. It might have been number 3 there. I called it Colin Gilbert. I thought it was 5, but it was 3. Anyway, ran the break nicely, got it to Cooper, but that horn did signify the end of the third quarter. The Bulldogs got possession here. This is an important one. See if they can start scrapping back into this. They look inside. They missed the connection. Matthews couldn't connect with Luke Purnell. Outlet pass all the way up to Gilbert. Matthews gets it on the ground. Gilbert. This ball is getting tipped and tackled every different direction. Bodies are flying, hitting the turf. Connections are being missed and made. We have offside. Yeah, there we go. It does get called, so the Bulldogs will get possession. I think the Andover squad was offside by 2 men.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure one. They call a timeout. We'll see. The near side official had called the offside. I'm not sure how this is going to be. This is a good officiating word. Adjudicated.
Adjudicated, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Deliberated, adjudicated.
Yeah, adjudicated. Yeah. It's a good one. For anybody out there who's still, in SAT land, it's a good vocab word for your SAT. Adjudicate. Yeah. Anyway, 11 minutes.
DJ.
Yeah, it's the
Combination.
ADJ. Yeah, like adjust, adjudicate. Yeah, it's a tough one there. We're not spelling though. We're just trying to figure out what the meaning is of that, right?
Let's not get nuts here.
Yeah. Anyway, 11 minutes, 9 seconds left in this game. The Bulldogs trail 12-5. And the Golden Warriors take a veteran timeout there as they were offside by 2 people. The trail official had called the offside, but near side official had granted the timeout. So somehow Andover keeps possession of that ball. DeJesus will start with it, top right of Ethan Kahn, and we're underway. Cooper, top center. Near side, back to Cooper. Cooper down that right side, down the alley, feeds it behind. They try to jam the crease, but that ball tipped away from the cutter just high. I believe it was DeJesus. They'll spin it around. Cooper, far side, looks to get the edge. Good defense there by Boyd to keep him below goal line extended.
Yeah, and here we see Bedford starting to reach out a little bit, get a little more aggressive, but I think this is just out of necessity, being 7 down with 10.5 minutes to play.
Can't really play a zone defense and hope to get a lot of turnovers. Here they, as you say, press out, they get the turnover and get the ball back in their sticks. So I'm not sure that was due to the pressure or if just they were trying to do a little bit too much on the Andover offensive side here.
I think if you're Bedford, that was definitely due to the pressure.
Yeah. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Helton, back to Kahn. Near side, Frangelo. Long pass through the middle is picked off again. Declan Machold.
He's shooting.
Yes, he is. Bounce shot. Kahn true to the task. It's amazing, you and I both being defenders, how any defenseman that goes down the field, you can pretty much tell when they're going to shoot. And it's so fun and funny to watch.
Gotta take your shot.
Pass into the middle. Helton can't make the connection. Good job by Boyd to get the player on the ground. Kahn with a save. Cooper misses the ground ball. Still down low in the middle. Players scrapping, trying to get a stick on it. A lot of whacking going on. Finally, Cooper comes away with it. Puts it in the back of the net. Not much Kahn could do there. Cooper has 5 on the night.
Yeah, and we see here just ball everywhere. But you see, what, 3 white jerseys north of the 2 Andover jerseys closer to the goal. I think Bedford really needs a bit of a hero here, someone to calm them down when it comes into a clear. Get the ball. This is where they have some strong middies. They got some seniors on this team. Someone to calm everybody down, make some simple passes, and start to put the ball in their offensive end, or else this could be a bit demoralizing moving forward.
Well, also on those ground balls right there on the crease, bodies have to start flying. I mean, as you're a defenseman, you need to be hitting people left and right, front, back. It doesn't matter. If you take a push from behind there, that's fine. It causes the play to get blown dead. You get a chance to reset your defense. You obviously don't want to take the penalty, but a loose ball infraction is no big deal. Here getting free, Declan Machold, he'll score. It's about time the senior defenseman gets rewarded. Beautiful play there. And Machold will put another one on the board, 14-5. Andover leads.
Good, really nice vision by Guinea and finding Machold just wide open. I'll tell a bit of a story. Back in the day, I used to play against some guys from Canada, and they would play with wooden long poles.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, that is not someone you want to get cross-checked by. These were guys that, when you're talking about laying some lumber in the middle of the field, these were people that you'd be thinking about going to the hospital if you went in there. Not today. These composite shafts don't do that type of damage, but the sentiment is still there. I think you got to get tough and hard-nosed and push Andover around when you're outside your own crease.
Big boys need to use their mass, need to use their muscle. Haven't been seeing it here. Start laying the lumber, both sticks and shoulders. Get some body contact going. 14-5 is your score. That last goal by Machold from Guiney. Pass through the middle there, trying to make the connection with John Purnell. Couldn't quite keep it in his stick. Gupta with a beautiful play to chase down the ground ball, gets his second chance for the Bulldogs. Luke Purnell can't come up with it. DeJesus comes out of the pack. Starts to run the break, skips away, backside, nice job. Finish, catch and finish all at the same time. Drew LaChapelle, the lefty, gets another goal. 2-1 for LaChapelle.
Yeah, that was a great handle as we see coming down here. LaChapelle wide open with the ball, doing the jump man Jordan pose, was able to grab it and dunk it. Really nice play. Again, I think we are seeing Bedford work really hard on the offensive end. Had some really nice cuts, just not able to hang on to the ball. It's there. It's the you know, you can do everything up until the point of the shot or the last catch. Love to see Bedford grab a couple of those and start to put a dent into this 10-goal lead.
Was that Guiney on the assist on that last one too?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Racking up the points this evening, 2 additional assists for him. He's got 3. Helton's shoe fell off on the face-off. Probably slip sliding around here.
There's nothing worse than a wet sock.
Oh, and putting that wet sock back in the wet shoe.
Nothing.
And now the wet shoe is cold. Oh, he's going to get a goal here.
Hey,
boom!
all right.
Picks the top right corner.
Shoeless Helton.
Shoeless Joe Jackson or Shoeless Brody Helton? I don't know. Either way, he scores a goal. Beautiful one as he rips that top right corner. Excellent placement there by Helton as the ball just trickled out to him with time and space.
Yeah, absolutely. We see, talk about changing planes. He was able to drop his shoulder, drop his stick, and then shoot high. Stick side high, blew it past the goalie. Nice shot.
Tough one there for Carreri facing down the hammer that Helton is. Face-off procedure here by Riccio. Bulldogs will retreat back to the defensive end. Brosnan will get things started. They spin it around. Here's Siegel. DeJesus absorbs several checks. Ball finally gets tipped behind. They try a behind the back shot, and it goes wide, but Andover is there on the backup. 7 minutes to go in this game. A 9-goal lead by the Andover High School Golden Warriors. DeJesus fires it behind. See a lot of the offense generated from X here for the Golden Warriors. Nice job to get the defensive heads moving, having to change their body position so they can't just sit and stand forward. Nice stick there by Santos to tip that pass that was all the way across. It will stay with Andover. But a lot of this play initiated behind here with Siegel. Gets a little space, looks to feed. As both the defenders and the goalie need to adjust to that. Snapping their head around. Siegel again. LaChapelle chooses not to shoot, tries to feed all the way across to Jesus, has it pop off his stick, but easily tracks down the loose ball. LaChapelle gets space, save Kahn. Kahn's got to be 15, 16 saves.
Yeah, he's had a very nice game. Keeping Bedford in this. 15 goals is a lot, but he's had some shots where shooters are wide open, and he's been standing tall.
Helton uses his fullback skills there. Gets through some contact. Matthews now feeds Purnell, John Purnell. Bouncer got caught up in his stick. High bouncer goes high and away. Just under 5.5 to go in the game. Andover leads 15-6. Matthews sets his feet, tries to crank, moves to his right and picks the left side. Offside shot, beautiful shot by Matthews. He has 4 goals on the evening.
Got the defender to have to commit and drop. That one was able to shoot across the goalie's right offside stick shoulder. A nice individual effort there, all And I see too, there's some opportunities here as Bedford starts to do the skip pass and have the overload on their side on offense, bringing the ball to one and then letting the attackman on the other side sneak through. They've had that pass open a couple times here. I'd like to see them turn a couple of those into goals.
We'll watch for that. We only have 5 minutes to watch for that as they're trying to finally figure out their offense against the zone defense. Riccio comes away with the ground ball for the Bulldogs. Capello sees pressure here from Mike Guiney. There you go. Run through a couple of checks, get some body position. Press the offense here. Here's Matthews again. Stabs inside, gets to his right hand, takes on the double. He'll shoot. He'll score. Top right corner above the goalie's shoulder. Matthews has 2 in a row.
Yeah, nice again. Individual effort. Capello was able to drive, get the ball to the other side. Matthews, we're seeing the end of this replay. Might have even bounced off the goalie's helmet, but nice placement, nice stab move, and a little bit of life from Bedford. Perhaps a bit too late, but we're starting to see some movement out of them.
Quick hands, too, is able to get that shot off. Lightning quick. Matthews fills it up again. He's got 5 goals on the evening.
Yeah, man, I see, the face-off X is usually something we're talking about. Andover's been the beneficiary of a lot of calls. We have seen a lot of procedure calls in the middle there, of which Bedford got 1, but it hasn't been a clean game at the X for Bedford either, not getting as many possessions as they would want.
Helton rips one low. Getting down for the save was Carreri. Matthews back to Helton. Off his stick, and it'll go out of bounds. Good hustle by Capello, but he can't keep it in. And Andover will start things near side. Gilbert, long pass. Machold. 4 minutes to go in this one, 15-8, as the Bulldogs rattled off 3 goals to make it somewhat respectable. Imagine Coach Brazil will run the armadillo play here. Run to the corner and cradle in between your shoulder blades. De Jesus, quick feet. He'll take a trot around the offensive end. No pressure coming out from Liam Shannon. Now they'll apply a little bit of pressure. Tough one here, and now the double comes. They'll fire it all the way to the top of the formation, La Chapelle. Far side for Guazda now. These are the Bulldogs that are relatively tired at this point in time, and they're seemingly going to concede this one. Nice wrap check there by Helton. Ball finds its way into the middle and into an Andover stick. I believe that was Guazda on the crease. Stick is broken there in the middle, and the debris lays at the feet.
Yeah, that's kind of indicative, though, of how the game's been going. Nice wrap check, get the ball out. Andover able to somehow get it in the middle and get a shot off. And Kahn tried for it, just a bit out of his reach. And here we are with Andover extending their possession.
2.5 to go. Kahn did come up with another save. Feeding the crease here. And missing the pass, but backing it up all the way near the midline, Drew LaChapelle. They'll settle things down, and nicely done by this Andover High School offense, as they have not drawn a keep it in call yet either. I guess the margin is probably too much for that at this point. Pass behind, rounding the corner, Kahn with another save. As Siegel came around, lefty tried to bury high, and Kahn stood up high. Helton draws some crowds through the middle. Luke Purnell grabs it, as they were able to handle the 10-man there. Heavy pressure there again by Declan Machold. Matthews draws a double. Good fake, gets a little room for his hands, feeds the crease. Luke Purnell finishes right on the doorstep. 15-9.
Yeah, again, as we see the replay, Matthews just diligent in his efforts to dodge and dish, and we see Andover probably doing a bit of ball watching there and putting resources towards Matthews, and Purnell was able to find the opening and put it back in the back of the cage. Not bad. Not bad.
Not too bad.
You mentioned it too, Corey. It's good to see the offense get some run here, because it is very, very tiring on defense to play for that long and keep up a high level. So I think that's been another big one in the game here too, is Bedford defense has really been stressed and taxed throughout the game.
We got a timeout here in these last moments. Coach Gaudreau wants to set up a play for these last 68 seconds. Score 15-9. The Golden Warriors ahead by 6. Kudos to Coach Gaudreau drawing up a play here. There are no 6-point plays in lacrosse, just so you know. I think that's clear.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
2-pointers.
2-pointers at the professional level, but not here. We don't see the line out there. But honestly, it's a great opportunity to think about situational type lacrosse. Figure out, ignoring the score. Hey, we have a minute left. What are we going to do? Are we going to go quick? Are we going to try to find a 15-second kind of quick hitter to get a shot off? Are we going to take our time, make sure that we get time and space? Are we going to look for a backdoor cut? What are we going to do here? Hopefully Coach Koss is not involved in this decision-making right now.
Yeah, agreed.
We know that his offensive play is quite marginal itself, but I'm sure he's helping on the sidelines in other manners.
Yeah.
They'll start behind. Bennett Matthews will draw. Looks like maybe Mike Guiney. Comes high, gets the goal line extended. Draws the double. Tries to roll back. Nicely done by the Andover defense. Purnell gets open. Righty snipes the top right corner. And that's the quick hitter. With only 12 seconds having run off, they get their 10th goal of the game. Matthews to Luke Purnell.
Yeah, and it's really just, again, an illustration of what pressure will do. I think Matthews was trying to roll around to the top and turn back and get it to Purnell, but he had to switch hands 2 or 3 times because he was being doubled persistently in order to get that pass off. So it was the right play, but again, Andover being able to push it and disrupt, really causing havoc for Bedford's offense.
The Bulldogs get another opportunity here. 50 seconds to go on face-off. Helton steps in. Capello has it pop out. That was the Jedi mind check right there by Mike Guiney. On that far side, and it looks like Andover should be able to run it out here, although they turn it over looking for the pass in the midfield. No? Oh, yes, they do. Great job by Gilbert to keep it in. I think I spoke a little too soon. LaChapelle was there trying to keep it in bounds. Couldn't quite do it. And now Helton's pass gets picked by Mackold. Mackold, phenomenal game here this evening. Got the goal earlier. Several plays to get the ball on the turf. LaChapelle gets the feed here. Can't make the connection. 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and that'll do it this evening on this game here on a rain-filled evening. Chilly evening, 50, if not below, from Bedford High School. Final score, Andover 15, Bedford 10. Quick scoring recap for you for Andover High School. 5 goals and 3 assists by Dan Guiney. 5 and 1 for Jack Cooper. Goals scattered throughout the rest. 2 and 1 for Drew LaChapelle. 1 each for Declan Mackold. Mark DeJesus. 1 and 1 for Adam Siegel. For the Bedford Bulldogs, leading the way, as usual, Bennett Matthews, 5 goals, 2 assists. Luke Purnell had 3 and 1. Brody Helton had 2. And that'll round out your scoring. Jay, before we sign off, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I want to say for the Bedford team, no lack of hustle, played really hard. And this Andover team is a well-coached, good team. I got to say that the film room this coming week, there's a lot I think that Bedford can actually take and learn from here and use to adjust their game plan as they continue with their in-conference games. But, ran up against a really good, well-coached, hungry team in Andover, and sometimes that's what you get.
Traditionally strong team from Andover, Massachusetts, coached by Brian Brazil. Nice job by the Golden Warriors as they come in. The Bulldogs will lick their wounds and head into their next game. For Jay Abendroth, I want to thank all the BCTV crew, everybody here in studio, Grand Poobah in the actual press box running camera over here. Jack Watson on the camera as well. Thank you, Jack. Back in the studio. Drew, always appreciate you, Andrew. For Jay Abendroth, I'm Corey Munster Tiger. We appreciate you tuning in to BCTV. We'll see you next time.